Everyone, Scarlet Rose 95 here. Sorry, I just stumbled on my words. Anyway, welcome to another video. Today, this is just a Owl House discussion on something that I've actually tried to look up before making this video, which is something I'm doing research on. Now, I have, before anyone goes and say, hey, just look at the episodes that show these things, I have, and I've been rewatching these episodes to work on my story, my Owl House story, which is the episodes that revolve around the Mindscape. There's two episodes in particular I know people will be bound to point out that I can reference, but it doesn't give me much detail besides what is outright stated or that we see within the episode, which is the Mindscape. I'm working on my story, my Owl House fanfiction, which can be found on Wattpad on my profile page, which is called Shadows of the Multiverse. Now, this is the title for now. It might change when I got more of the story written out. I'm not sure if I'm keeping the title. It kind of sounds too more like Marvel's title to me, so I don't really know if I really want to keep this title, but it's what I have so far. It's the only title I can think of that makes remotely sense. I do know I want the title to say have multiverse in it because it has to do with the characters traveling to these different dimensions / realities and times. Now, the difference between a different reality versus a different dimension is kind of iffy with me because I've gotten the understanding of it to, at least from what the Google definition is. I'm a big fan of time travel and things like that, but I haven't seen many shows that delve into different dimensions, although I'm a big fan of people traveling to different dimensions. And from what I do know, at least as far as with what's common in isekai. So the way I have it structured is, because there is time travel involved in this too, we do know time travel does exist in the Owl House. So it's the form of the time pools. Now, we don't know how far the time pools work, and the time travel is usually time pools take you back in time, at least from what we've seen, not forward. Although there has been speculation that a time pool could exist that actually leads from the future, and all those fans of the theory that Zora, the Good Witch Zora, is actually Lucent Amity's daughter, which I do love that theory. As you can see, the smile appearing on my face. I'm a big fan of that theory myself. One of the core evidence for this theory that people tend to use is that the time pools exist and that these books could have leaked through a time pool. But the thing against that point is that these time pools exist in the bowling aisles alone, not the human realm. So that is where at least I get stuck, but then at the same time I am aware, before you shoot my head off talking about this, I'm aware that things from the bowling aisles can leak through the human realm through rifts. I think there's leak through rifts and openings. I don't really know too much about those things. All I know is from what the show states, which all I give is the basic of when rifts. So whatever they mean by rifts, it's possible that the books could have came to the bowling aisles from a time portal and then ended up through a rift that opened up that leaked those books into the realm. However, since we know the human world was based on our world, if a random book just randomly appeared, I can see a few copies maybe being picked up and donated to libraries and things like that. But as far as it being picked up and sold in stores, I cannot see that happening. But we don't know how Luce's dad got a hold of the book in the first place. So we just know that Luce's dad did leave her the Good Witch of Zor series book. And at least as far as volume 1 is concerned of the book, I don't know about how Luce got a hold of the other books. But we do know she owns them. So as far as them being a library book, no, I don't think so. Now it makes sense in the demon realm would sell them because people would see these books and want to make profit off of it. Hello, Ida sold human junk. So I'm pretty positive that's at least explainable in the last half, but as far as Luce goes, I don't know. The only way I can technically see that working if someone or something coordinated to make sure Luce got the Good Witch's Zor book to put her on the path that would lead to her going ending up on the Boiling Isles. And that's a theory I will have, and I will make a full video on my thoughts on that at a later date, because I am thinking about that. But I wanted to make a video because it's been a while, and for those who have seen my live reaction, I also wanted to explain why I ended up taking it down. I think I talked about it before, but I'm not entirely sure if I started making a video to explain it and just never got around to posting it. If I did, I certainly didn't post the video. So I just want to go over it again and at least, put it out there officially, because I'm not sure if I did talk about it in my other videos or not. Is that I did a live reaction to Watching Dream, which I still have the video, and I do plan to post it at some point. It's just due to the lack of editing software, because like I've mentioned in my first video coming back, is I've been away from YouTube, but YouTube has changed their guidelines and things, and I'm still testing out some new features that YouTube gained over the years and learning some things. As well as the fact you've probably seen my post which states I was going to do a live stream. I was not aware that you need 50 subscribers, so to do a live stream. I will eventually love to do live streaming, but apparently I need 50 subscribers to do that, and I am not there yet. So if you want help, if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. I would love to get to know you and eventually get to do a live stream so I can actually talk to you guys. And maybe even have discussions where we go have a back and forth. I would love to do that. However, getting back to so I just need to edit the video, and I found something. I found a way to edit my video, but the video is super long, so I don't know how long it's going to take to do that. And I'm doing all this on my phone because, one, I do not have internet for my laptop. I'm using Wi-Fi, and it costs money to get a good editing software program, or whatever you want to call it, to edit videos. And plus, I'm good with technology, so don't take this as I'm bad with technology. No. It's just figuring out how to transfer videos from a phone to a laptop and then back to the phone again in order to post it is something I'm really bad at figuring out. I will get that figured out. I'm not saying I'm never going to try to do it again, but the last time I tried, something happened. I don't really know what happened, but something happened, and it made me too scared to continue because I was afraid that something might mess up my laptop. So, but yeah, so I will eventually post my live reaction, which was taken the day after. It was taken on the 9th instead of the 8th because I had to wait for Disney Plus. Not that I have anything against watching it on YouTube. It's just when I'm first seeing it, I like a full screen, and I know Disney at the end of their stuff, and I know of a lot of reviewers who actually reacted to having the video get shortened at the end, and I wanted the full view and be able to really absorb into things. Now, I am someone who watches stuff because I tend to be thinking while I'm watching the shows. I don't have much of a reaction in these videos. I don't have much of a reaction to a lot of the parts, and I think that's probably why what ended up happening is I got hit with a copyright strike. Besides the fact I didn't edit the video, which it was my first ever doing a live reaction, so I knew there was a chance going in that if I posted it, it was going to happen. But I decided to take that chance anyway, just to figure out what needed to be done, because I knew as far as video is concerned that the videos you can't really show what's going on because you get hit with copyright strike with that, and people tend to dim the video, tend to do things like that. But I was not sure how far that worked with audio, and thanks to this little test run, which I did get a copyright strike, but I took it down immediately, so there was not a problem. First I privated it and to look into it, and once I realized it was because of the audio, and the fact that I did not really look at my video before, but I knew there was a possible that there were parts that were just quietly sitting there. So I kind of see where that's could probably have gotten hit. So like I said, I have found out a way. It just is going to take me a while before I can get that up and going for you. Anyway, I am done talking about that, so let's get back on track to what I want to talk about, is the Mindscapes. I don't know much about them, but for my story, I do have a plan in mind at some point to have the characters enter Luce's mind, and I've been taking some notes from a lot of other fan fictions that have inspired me on the look of Luce's Mindscape. A lot of people had different ideas, and there were a lot of good ones that I liked, but there was also a lot of things that didn't really make sense. One was a library, and instead of trees, it was books that hold Luce's memory. I kind of wanted to do this, in a sense, for an aspect of Luce's Mindscape I was exploring, but looking back at the 2 episodes we get, although they were different, the core aspect was that a lot of the memories were within trees, or photo frames within the trees. And so I do know that the trees are an essential aspect that can't be changed. The look of the trees, the look of the photos, the look of the surroundings, and the atmosphere can be different, but the memory is always placed in trees. So I have that. However, I did figure out a way, because it is told that those memories that are in the trees that we see are what is considered core memories, the memories that make up who a person is, makes up their personality and how interact and the way they feel about people. So I have incorporated the book and the library thing in a specific way with a book. However, the core memories will still be within the trees of the landscape. However, I wanted to do something unique with Luce's Mindscape because of the type of person she is. Now, I basically decided to do it this way because of the fact that I kind of imagine my landscape being a little bit like that, on the sense that we have different sections. Like, I imagine, like, my Mindscape, like, if I had to talk about how I imagine, like, my landscape looking, it would have aspects of everything. about me, but it would also be a kind of a symbol, not symbolism, but kind of show how when we're in different situations, we turn off certain parts of our mind. Like, for me, I imagine I have different sections. If I had to say Mindscape, I have different sections. One section holds the core memories, the memories that make up who I am as a person. But then there's a section that has my important memories, more memories that really don't make up who I am, but is important to me in particular, and maybe might even, my inner self, as they call it, might be protective of those memories as well as the core memories. And then there's a third section of my mind, which is the suppressed memories, or the memories that are extremely painful and we just want to forget about section. The memory that's so far away from all those other memories that we like to draw on that the memories are just starting to fade. And I do have these three sections in Luce's mind. The core section, the important section, and then the suppressed section. These three aspects of the mind is represented because everyone, yes, we have core memories that make up who we are as a person, but we also have memories that we just like to hold on to, memories that are important to us because it's with people we care about. It's just remembering special moments that really mean a lot to us. And they don't exactly make up who we are. You could remove those memories and we stay the exact same person. But they are still important to that person themselves. And this is something that I didn't see in either of the episodes. And I felt like the mind, like if a mindscape is supposed to be representative of the person's mind as a whole, and the mindscape that they shows that the memories that we see, now you could say that the mindscape may be vast, and there's several, more memories that we're not seeing, but like in Willow's mind, but in Hollow Mind it's pretty evident of not every memory of Bella's was there. Not every moment was there. But yet they only showed the core memories. At least as far as you know, they were just core memories. So what about the other memories that don't make up a person? What happens to those? What happened to them? Now you can say that they were represented through the objects and things that appear within the mindscape. But at the same time, I feel like they should have some type of form of being able to relive them or see them, because these are still memories. So this is why I decided on, in Blue specifically, I'm not going to change how it looked in the Emperor's mind, plus mine takes place after Bella's defeat anyway. My story did originally take place while Luz was still, like, my own version of the future, where Luz was 15, and it was just, like, the year time skip, but I changed it after watching The Dreaming. And originally I was, like, not going to change anything, but watching and Dreaming did one thing that made it hard for me to, because originally this story was not going to take seriously. Like, it was just a fun little project to do, not having to care about any of my writing rules that I have for myself. And if you're an already follower of my Wattpad page, you already know these rules because I've stated them several times to people. If, as far as fan fiction goes, the original story, I don't have to worry about this rule. This rule doesn't come into play for original story, but as far as fan fiction goes, my rule is staying close to the source material as possible. And this tends to mean that I don't have to change my book if the show or book that the fanfic is based off doesn't, fall in line and, have disproven my story to be canon. As long as the possibility exists that it could happen, it doesn't need to change. Now, don't get mad at me, because you would say that, oh, Dana Towers would have had to do that. Had to do that. There's no reason for you to think it was not going to happen. And yes, I knew it was possible that she was going to resolve this with Luz, but at the same time, I was preparing my mind that because of what Disney did, not because of Dana. I had full faith in Dana to possibly, you know, do it in a way that, but at the same time, because of the limited time span, I had a feeling that the way she would try to resolve would probably feel rushed and would not really make sense to me. Which is Luz blaming herself. And I was like, oh. With the limited time span and with the only limited to 3 episodes, let me just say, episode 2 For the Future gave me similar feelings. I felt like it was rushed, and how I felt like the whole build up to Luz and Camilla's talk something just didn't sit right with the build up to it. And don't get me wrong, I love the moment. I loved what they did do. I'm not saying she needed to change. I'm just saying that it felt like it needed more build up, and we probably would have had that if we had a full season 3, where they could have dived into Luz and really had the other characters get involved with this turnaround for her, but unfortunately we didn't get that. And so I'm not blaming Donna. I'm not blaming, but I wanted to prepare myself for a lackluster of a resolve of Luz's blaming herself and seeing herself as the villain. And so, wondering the story, I had to have it happen after Bellows and the Collector. However, I did assume that Donna was going to, what's that word? Redeem, that's it. Redeem the Collector, or at least give him a redemption, where it turned out that he wasn't so bad and he was just a misunderstood child. Which they did do. So I already had it set up that the Collector would be there at the end and be the one responsible for helping create the portal, which actually ended up happening, which was really cool to see, which a few times you see me laugh. I really was like dumbstruck when that the Collector did in fact help with the portal. That was just something I added in because I needed a reason to say that the character got himself a portal to go back almost immediately, and I just used the Collector. It was like a random thing I just chose to happen without any rhyme or reason. And they had the Collector create the portal. And I'm like, oh, God, they actually did that. Anyway, I don't want this video to be too long. As you can see, I'm having I need to take a shower. And things like that. Plus, I have to go visit my husband, who is dog sitting for my sister-in-law, so I can't spend too much time on this. But I wanted to put this video out here because while I'm still in the planning stages for this specific part of the story, I wanted to give time for people to possibly leave a comment and tell me what they think the Mindscape, as far as the other memories, let's say the non-core memories, where they would possibly be, or how they would be possibly represented within the Mindscape. We know the trees surround the core memories, so could it be possible that there's another part to the Mindscape that we just didn't see? What are you guys' thoughts on the Mindscape? Because I have not really seen any theory videos or any discussion videos talk about it. I guess there won't be any new theories since the show did come to an end. But I really would love to hear what other people think about this topic. And I keep saying love my little writing tics, or whatever you want to call it. My talking tics. Anyway, I'm gonna leave it here. If I have anything else to share or say or talk about with you guys, I will make another video. But this is just a quick one that I wanted to do. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Like, subscribe, and maybe let's hope that over the next few months to a year, I'll get up to 50 subscribers. Anyway, 50 subscribers is, I'm just going to put it out there. I'm going to make 50 subscribers my goal, at least. So, at least my starting goal. So that way I can at least start to do live streams with you guys. And possibly, I would love to do even live streams with me doing readings of my books. And then possibly hear what you guys think of my books, because I do go through what I call like 3-part editing process, and right now it might be confusing for people who are on Wattpad because I've been republishing some chapters, but I'm still in editing phase 1, which is just writing out the story. So the 3 stages are write out the story, first draft type of bit, just getting things out there. And the second editing is formation. Formation is once I get at least the first story or arc done, I re-section these stories, because I am someone who does do multiple points of views, and it has been pointed out to me several times that doing one point of view, one chapter, and then switching at the end, switching in the beginning of a second chapter is kind of daunting to some people. My husband, I know that is very popular to do, and it's actually, okay to do. That is a writing style, but I like to try to make my writing style as diverse as possible for people who have different, favor different kind of layouts. So doing it every other chapter, although it works for one group of people, it doesn't work for everybody. So I'm trying to at least still have that rotation in points of views, but making sure it's like every other chapter, or that I kind of position out where you're sticking with a character for a good length of time until it's necessary to switch. And so that way you're not switching as often, and I try to limit the points of views I have by saying at least 2 per arc. I usually like to say at least 2 to 3 points of views per arc, because it can be kind of daunting. And with the fact that I tend to have try to follow the 12 episode format, I do an episode format, so which means I am actually, since my word count has increased, I am now gotten to the point where I can do up to 4,000 words for stories. So I am actually starting to change the 12 episodes to 24 episodes per arc. Now the reason I say, but it will be like once I'm finished with the arc completely, you're going to see it say there's only 12 episodes for this arc. But that's because the way I'm doing it is I'm writing out each chapter. I'm doing 12 episodes, a 12 episode arc, but in order so that way it's not too daunting for me and I have to write 4,000 words per chapter, I'm doing 24 episodes first, writing out that way, that way I only have to write about 2,000 words. So that way when I combine the points of views into fewer chapters, I bring it down to 12 instead of 24, and each chapter will be about 4,000 words. And I say about because it might be 3,000, but I'm going to try to get as close to 4,000 words as possible for this. But the format will still stay 12 episodes per arc, and I'm running out of breath. Lovely. Will stay to the 12 episodes. However, it will seem like I'm writing a 24 episode arc for the first part of the story. Let's just say that because my brain does not want to work today. But yeah, so I'm still in the first stages of this book, which is basically just doing the layout and then eventually the editing process. Now, frankly, a lot of people do tend to get confused sometimes too, because sometimes before I move on to the second arc within the story, I tend to do the first arc, finish the whole editing process with the first arc, get the first story completely written up, focal point, and then finally touch up. Basically it, and then I move on to the second, which just confuses people because I have not exactly finished the whole story, but that I leave up in the air because sometimes I need a break from writing, so editing is a perfect way for me to do that, because instead of coming up with it, I just need to focus on making sure my grammar is okay, put it through Grammarly, and which, by the way, I want to ask some people who use Grammarly, because I've been having this issue, and my mom's pointed out when she read my story that it's been putting punctuations in the wrong place sometimes. So I really need to examine, because I have problems with grammar. So I don't know where I'm going wrong, and when Grammarly tells me to put a punctuation somewhere, and then I've come to find out that it should not be there in the first place, it really messes with me, because I'm still having issues with punctuation when it comes to grammar. Now, I've learned, for those of you who have been with me on Wattpad for a long time, you probably know I used to do script, because I did not know how to write dialogue in a form of a paragraph. I knew how to do paragraphs, I just did not know how to do dialogue, if that makes sense. So I did script for a while because it was easy for people to understand the story I was telling, made it easy for my readers. I didn't really like doing script, but I wanted to make sure my story was understandable for my readers, so I sacrificed my enjoyment in doing that to make it easily understood by my readers. So in a way, I said I was getting off 10 minutes ago, and now I'm at a 32-minute mark here. Alright, so yeah, it is in the edit stage 1. You feel it is posted, because I like to post them when I'm writing it out, because I like to get feedback and hope that someone might say whether they like something or not and give me a reason why they don't think it works. Now, I don't listen to let's just say hate comments. I don't listen to hate comments. I ignore them or delete them. But I do look at my comic section because I like to get feedback. So if you actually do professional criticism, deliver professional criticism to me, and not hateful comments, which are two separate things, people, I will listen, and I take what you say, and I take note of what you say, because I do, at least as for the audience, my audience that I tend to go for tend to be the teens to young adults type of stories. However, which I'm actually amazed that I've actually have a lot of people reading some of my books that are not teens and actually adults in their 30s. I'm like, okay. I am both thrilled with that, but yeah, I try to make my books and stories something where there's something for everyone. I like my stories to have something that everyone could latch on to, no matter what your preference is for stories. And plus, it's kind of fun trying to include these different things that most people tend to throw out depending on the genre or type or their audience. Because who's not to say a preteen or a teen can't enjoy some, mature things. It's just you gotta deliver it in a way where it easily makes sense, but it's not getting too detailed, so it won't be inappropriate for those type of for younger audience that may find their way onto my book. Now, I also never mark my books on Wattpad as mature because I tend to stay away from that content because I love kids and I love teenagers. So I like my books to be available for every age, which sucks with the YouTube, where I have to choose whether or not my YouTube videos are for adults or not. And I have to, just so that way it's available to everyone, because YouTube likes to make things for kids, say that it's for kids when, so unless there's like a video where, I am saying things that are definitely for an adult audience, I'm not marking my videos, nor my books, as mature. Because, hello, I try to make content that everyone likes now. I do let people know that because my books are for preteens to teens and young adults, there is mild cussing in my books, but not to an extent where you see it every chapter. It's like maybe 3-4 times during a arc, of which my arcs tend to be 12 episodes long, and if it only happens 4 times, it's not that big of a deal. And basically, I don't linger on that dialogue where that word was in there. I don't linger. If it comes out, it comes out in a, character's quick reaction. I'm not going to say some of that dialogue because YouTube will not like some of the dialogue. I will tell you that the F word does get thrown around from time to time in there, and I'm not going to say any of that. Now, most of the language around that is, small, typical, that's not really that bad type of language that, it's not as bad as the F word, but that did pop up from time to time because some guy character, I'll tell you this, I do base some characters, like original guy characters and things like that, off of the people I know. And a lot of times the love interest of my characters is based off of my husband. And let's just say he does not know how to control his mouth sometimes, which is why I have to try to make these videos when my husband's not around, because, golly, I do not want YouTube to get on my case because my husband decides to drop the F-bomb. Anyway, it was nice talking to everyone. Please like, subscribe, share these videos if you know if anyone would like any of my videos. Please share them so that way I can get my subscriber count up. And now I am, not forcing anyone to join, but it will be very appreciated if you subscribe, and I would love to start building. I really want to come up with a name for my subscribers, a unique name. That I've seen some YouTubers do this, and I would love to do it for us. For those, once I probably will be thinking on it and would start using it once I get up to 50, especially if I'm doing the live stream, because I would really love a way to, instead of saying subscribers, I would love some sort of name where I could actually reference you guys, refer to you guys as, anyway, I'll talk to you all next time. So, see you real soon. Bye!